Like a panther. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know, I can't get over that video. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys are kind of like bored and like, oh, this guy again with that video. It's funny, man.
It's really funny. No, man.
I've never seen
Keep
that
going.
before.
The end does it for me every time.
Oh, it's great, man. After 35 years, Boba Fett's back as a meme.
Yo, I'm telling you, I watched that video, that clip over there. I'm like, you know what? I have to put this in the show because this is funny as hell. Like it's just funny, like his face, like a bantha, like
Yes.
Like a banta. Yeah.
But here we are, guys. Welcome to another episode of Between Collectors. And as you can see, I have an amazing panel. Yes, we're waiting for my friend Will. He has to make a stop at Olive Garden and get some salad and breadsticks. So he's coming. But I'm gonna introduce my friend Anthony from Six Scale Mafia.
What's up, bud? Yeah, good to be here again, man. As always, man, we got some cool stuff to talk about, and yeah, man, look forward to it. As always.
As always, be one. No, that's for later. I have Graham for the Jedi Knights in the house as well.
Good evening, everybody. And Dante, thanks for having me again. Looking forward to chatting with you fine gentlemen.
My pleasure, my friend. We have KG Collector in the house.
Hey, Dante, thanks for inviting me. I know the first time you invited me, I didn't have time to come on, but now you invited me, so I can't wait to be on. And look who came.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
Man,
Will,
Will,
Will?
taking away KG's
Fashionably
intro,
late.
bro.
Oh,
What?
was I taking away KG's intro?
No, you're good. You're good. No,
The
but
famous
I just
KG.
want
Where's my money, bro? Where's my money? That's all I care
Listen,
about.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I got it.
money,
Don't-
bro.
But anyways, we have a great panel, and I can't wait to chat on some figures, man. So
We're gonna have fun tonight, my friend. We have Jorge, the Mandalorian from MCE,
Hello there.
Hyperdrive.
What's going on?
What's up, my friend?
Thanks for having me.
And last but certainly not least, and this time it's not Fabio who's late, it's actually Will.
Hey, I don't know how that happened though, because it's got to be Fabio, man. I can't fill that spot for him. He's got to be the tardy
You
one
just
every
did.
time.
You just
I know,
did, sir.
I know. But I just woke up, to be honest, so that's probably why I look.
Oh,
look like
really?
it, so,
Wow.
yeah.
I hope Olive Garden was worth it, man.
Yeah, Olive Garden, dude. I got wild tonight. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Thanks for having me, Dante. I appreciate it, man.
My pleasure, guys. So
Always.
we're gonna have a fun night, fun night today. So this is how we start Between Collectors. And as always, I have to say hi to everyone on the chat tonight. We have Rebels Come, Hola Dante here in Lima waiting for the show. Man, we have a good game tonight, man. I can wait for Peru, Ecuador later at 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's the reason why we're going to finish at 8:30 tonight, because we have a game. The Collector in the house, to Guthrie, to Ferns, OG when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Let's go, Mando. Max Kingdom in the house. What's up, my friend? Single songwriter, as always, in the house. We have Valiant Archer in the house. JB, Six Skull Collector, JC, Raleigh Reviews. Welcome, my friend.
Ramirez.
Young Squid, Wolf Moon in the house. Knights of Ren, 789. What's up, my friend? More worship. How are you? TK592 in the house as well. Welcome, my friend. We have WILLFOXIFICATION. Yo, what's up, man?
Who's that?
I
DT
don't know.
Armin
Some
in the
dude
house.
likes breadsticks.
Flirt.life. Jay-Z, Jedi Knights, Dario Rivera, Jokinator, Lokaloo, what's up, Lokaloo in the house, FBJ, Andrew James, and everyone watching at home. Welcome, guys, for another episode Between Collectors. All right, so we're going to start with the meat. So we're going to talk about, we are a few hours away from episode 6 of the Book of Boba
Yep.
Fett, and I'm telling you, the expectation is very high right now, based on what we saw episode 5, which to me so far I enjoyed the show. I don't know what you guys, Anthony. I'm gonna start with you. What is so far the overall, I guess, impression of the show? Are you happy with it? Are you okay with the pace? Do you think some parts are missing? Are you gonna wait until the final episode to say, you know what, I'm gonna make my judgment at the end? What are your thoughts so far of the show?
No, yes, and yes. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think everybody knows my opinions. I love Boba Fett. I don't like the show. I'm hoping it improves, but even with 2 episodes left, I'm not sure if 2 episodes can, in my opinion, fix, the current state of this. Because there's only 4 episodes. Let's remember that, right? 5 doesn't count. There's 4 Boba Fett episodes. So here's the thing. I love the flashbacks. I loved those. I discussed before, it's just the consistency problem that I have. He was such a badass in Mando, and then it's about a week or 2 later, and he's not. So I don't know what happened there, and I don't really know the aim of it. But I mean, I still enjoy the show. I hope there's a season 2, because if there's a season 2, then I think season 1 will make more sense and it will feel good. But if there's only 2 episodes left, I don't care if they bring in Han Solo or they bring in Cad, but none of that's going to save it. It's not going to save the character of Boba Fett. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm going to do my live watch tomorrow on it, so we'll see. I'm hoping it's going to be awesome. It's hard, man, when Mando was so good, and they proved that again last week. So it's like, where's the budget? Anyway, that's my thoughts. I don't want to get into it too much, but I am excited.
It's fine. I just noticed that Grogu doesn't have the hat today. What the hell, Grogu?
He feels
Where's
bald.
that go?
No, all right. He was weird, right? I just forgot. You can tell I was in a rush. So they didn't set the guy up,
What's more concerning, you in a rush or you dressing Grogu before stream?
It's just a
I
hat,
don't know.
man. That's all I put. A hat, and that's it. But before I go with with Graham, I want to say hi to my boy Andrew James in the house. Haven't been here for a minute, but I gotta show some love to all my friends here. You'll rock. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Andrew, for the super chat for the 9. Man, you can be late. It's fine, man. Like, you can always rewatch the show. He's always active on the Facebook group as well. By the way, you should become a member as well if you want. But thank you so much, my friend, for the super chat. Graham, what are your thoughts about the book of Boba Fett so far? We're gonna talk about potential stuff happening, but I just want to know, because right now I speak to a lot of people and I ask them their thoughts about the show, and I can get mixed reviews. Some of them, I love it. Some of them, I'm okay with that. Some are like, what, I don't like it. It's kind of like you get all 3 categories. What are your thoughts on the show so far?
Oh, where do I start? I mean, Anthony and I were discussing this for a while last night, and just kind of some of the issues that we have with it. It's a show I really want to like. And I do enjoy for the most part. I also enjoy the flashback scenes. I like knowing what happened to Boba, not that fact like he dies in Empire Strikes Back and now we just see him again. At least they explain that, and I think they did that pretty well. But kind of like Anthony said, what are they doing with Boba's character? He's always coming in second to everybody he's hanging around with. They just make him look kind of like he's not capable. Like Fennec's always showing him up. He's kind of always she's taking the lead and, kind of always stealing the day. And it's like he doesn't really know what his place is in his own show. So that's kind of really bothered me. And I know there was people after episode 1, episode 2 are like, he walks too much. He takes his helmet off too much. I'm like, just take it easy, everybody. We're fine. It's good. But now I'm getting a little nervous because we're to the point where we're kind of telling ourselves, well, there's 2 episodes left. So maybe these 2 episodes are just going to kind of save the rest of the series for us. And it shouldn't be like that. As viewers, we should be enjoying it from start to finish. And I think that's a problem with the writing a little bit. So I do enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. However, it's not perfect. And there are some issues that I have noticed. And I'm hoping the last 2 episodes really knock it out of the park. And I'm really hoping that Boba Fett's actually in the last 2 episodes.
That's a good point. Jorge, I saw you smiling over there. What are your thoughts about the show so far? I'm gonna give my honest opinion. I actually enjoyed the show from the beginning all the way to now. Obviously, episode 5 to me was the best, just because I really love Mando, so I'm very biased on that. And I kind of like the fact that, and I said it many times, that Mando was without Grogu, and you can see how badass this guy is gonna be without Grogu, right? But again, Jorge, tell me, what are your thoughts about the show so far? Are you excited for episode 6? Our minds are gonna get blown away by it, or what?
I'm very excited for the next episode, although I haven't been as excited of the series as a whole. Kind of like what Anthony said, I really enjoy the flashbacks. I do feel that the problem with the show is that the flashbacks are not being used correctly. Like, they would have been better, in my opinion, if they had spent more time with the flashbacks, or maybe just make that part of the show the season, and then season 2, whatever is happening otherwise, you know. And so it's like you're going back and forth, and it's taking you out of the flashbacks and then out of the main story, so you really can't connect in either direction. And then, of course, the situation with Boba Fett's character is an issue for me. Like, just like what everybody's saying, he always comes in second to Fennec. He seems to be the comedy of the show, which I don't think he should be. And I really don't agree with, you know, trying to rule with respect with a bunch of outlaws. I mean, Boba Fett is, you know, he gains respect through power and through you know, intimidation, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what I was kind of expecting out of that, you know. So in that sense, I'm a little bit disappointed with it, but it's Star Wars, so I'm happy, you know. Like, I'm glad that we're getting the Star Wars show. So it's like the fact that we're getting that, it keeps me getting up every morning to do these reaction videos for him. So I enjoy it.
That's a good point. And KG, before I go with you, I think everyone was expecting to see this Boba Fett.
Dude, what the hell was that?
Right?
That's a fan fiction.
Who is that?
Right? That's not Boba Fett. He's bumbling around needing an asthma and a back to tank.
But in return, we got this.
Like a panther. Yes. Yes. Yes.
At least
I
you
rest
didn't
my
show the
case.
kitchen scene.
Yeah, I know.
The kitchen scene.
Or the chase
It's funny because
scene.
I actually like that part of episode 2. Episode 2 is probably one of my favorite episodes when they had Boba Fett.
So, KG, now I'm going to direct the question to you. So, we got a badass entrance from Boba Fett in The Mandalorian. Everyone was like, holy, right? And then we see the show, despite I personally enjoyed the show so far, and I respect everyone's opinions and views, because, again, you know, it's always good to have the different perspectives. But it is a fact that it's a change between The Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and this book of Boba Fett. So what are your thoughts about this? I mean, do you think we still have some hope that this is going to get fixed in the next 2 episodes, or that's it?
Well, I mean, of course, it's the Mandalorian. I mean, he showed up out of nowhere, right? I mean, it's the Mandalorian basically saved Star Wars from what it was before, and I think, you know, I'm following the same trend with Anthony and Jorge here. It's just to me, it feels like Boba Fett in this episode it doesn't feel like a Boba Fett show. It feels more like more of a Mandalorian show than anything. I think these last 2 episodes, yes, it's going to include Boba Fett, but how much of Boba Fett we're going to see? You know, it's because right now the Mandalorian, this episode, I checked right on Instagram, it's the highest IMDb episode right now for, I think, in Star Wars TV shows. So with a 9.4 rating, I mean, that clearly evidently says it right there. I mean, everything Mandalorian in it is going to be great. I mean, I think somebody, I don't know who brought it up. I think it was, I don't know who it was, but the reason why I think a lot of people didn't, I think the Mandalorian showed a true, you know, bounty hunter, you know, like how we see the Boba Fett in the Empire Strikes Back in those films. I think they didn't want to repeat it. That's the thing. I don't think they want to repeat them. Like, oh, we got this. It's just the same thing as the Mandalorian show. We don't want to see that again. So that could be it, but I doubt it. Just because I think we want to know what happens to Boba Fett after this whole, with the Jabba the Hutt and things like that. Now he's taking Jabba's place. The series is up and down for me. The first episode is like, it was not that great. I'm like, okay, well, usually first episodes are not that great, but the second episode will be great. Second episode was really good. I enjoyed the second episode. Like I said, I love the flashbacks. I think the flashbacks are the best things so far, the best things in the Book of Boba Fett. Some of them are. Then the third episode came along. I'm like, the show kind of lost me. I don't. It's it's one of those shows or Star Wars things. I love Star Wars and everything Star Wars. I almost fell asleep in episode 3. I got to be honest with you.
Really?
I almost fell asleep.
Maybe I'm too old for these shows, man. Because I enjoy them. I'm like,
no, I think it's just because the inclusion of these robotic cyborg racers,
Power Rangers.
if you would say, the Fazbuzz. I think it's I don't know. It's a weird inclusion for him. I just didn't see the need of him. And that race scene, oh my god, that was the slowest thing I've ever seen in my life. That race scene was so slow. I'm just like,
agree.
Is this like a Fast and Furious in Star Wars? Like, what am I watching here? It's like for me, the show's definitely up and down. Episode 4 was good too. Towards the end, we got the little hint of who's gonna come for the next episode. Mm-hmm. Episode 5 was obviously the best thing, and obviously got some pretty good sales for the armor probably once she showed up, and also the heavy Mando going up in price, and we know we're gonna get a reissue of that pretty soon. But yeah,
2.0,
I think
2.0, I think not necessarily
2.0. 2.0, yeah, of course. 2.0, they're gonna give us something new with that. But yeah, I'm agreeing with everybody else that in the panel pretty much says that. I think this series. I hope we do get a season 2. That way we can get some sort of a clarification as to why he's like, okay, then now it makes sense. We're getting into the story finally. Episode 2 is sort of like we get to see, because so far we haven't seen Boba Fett using his gun. We haven't seen Boba Fett, doing a lot of crazy things in the episode.
He didn't even use the Slave 1, man. Fennec had to
only one time, I think.
I think with the Sarlacc pits. Like, come on.
Exactly. So
yeah,
he did shoot the biker gang.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but
well, that's a good point. Let me give a shout out to my friend Fabio from Fast Figure. He's in the house, and he has the pass. He can be late. It's fine, no problem. Jose Hernandez. They never show my comments. Well, I'm just showing you comments.
Well, you're getting your comments right now.
I'll take that.
To pretty much end it off, I'm just going to say that the show is so far okay. It's not the best show I've ever seen, but I still believe in the next 2 episodes will be good, just because the only one thing the reason why it's going to be good is because obviously the Mandalorian's in it, and everything the Mandalorian's in, it's going to sell. It's going to sell people.
Be in it though.
Is he going back to visit? Grogu?
I mean, they need the muscle, bro. They need the muscle. So they got him, and who knows, man? They might bring in some other bounty hunters like Bosk, Bosk, and some people say Cad Bane. I doubt it, but who knows, man? We're just speculating here. So
yeah, but we'll see.
So, yeah,
that's
my overall thoughts. Yeah.
We'll see. And talking about Will see, we can talk about my friend WILLFOXIFICATION, because he can give us the analytics, the more in-depth analysis of the Book of Boba Fett. He's the man who does those essays. Those
he does
really
video reviews. Yeah.
So he dissects the shows, the movies in a different way. He's kind of like the doctor of the movies or the shows. So what are your thoughts, Will? That's true, right?
Yeah, to a degree. I wish my doctorate degree was in that, but
right?
I'll take the compliment. But I think what Graham said too is really right. Like, and one thing I want to throw out on this too, because we're all Star Wars fans here, right? So one thing I've noticed with Star Wars is that we give it the benefit of the doubt more than any other IP ever, right? Like, we want to like it so badly. We all do the same thing. Graham hit the nail on the head. It's like, well, after the first 2 episodes, it's like, all right, guys, like, give it more time. It's going to come together. We want it to be good so badly that we're pretty much willing to accept mediocrity or less, over time, unless it's, turns out to be good. Like, we don't give other IPs that same benefit of the doubt, right? Usually, like, where we say, oh, okay, give it more time. Most people just turn off if they don't like the first 2 or 3 episodes. Like, even WandaVision, for example, I've always said, I somehow made it through, but after the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, I was highly concerned. I was pretty much almost done. I was like, look, I didn't like these first 3 episodes. I thought they belonged like in the garbage bin. I was like, and then after that, it became amazing, right? Sometimes it works out. There's so much to talk about with the show, but the problem is, to me, the best episode doesn't even have Boba in it. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big problem. Like if your best episode doesn't even have your titular character in it, that's a big issue. Like,
are we biased on the Mandalorian because we kind of that was the first show ever, Star Wars show, like a live
Maybe.
action show. Do you think it's probably some type of like bias,
No,
and because
man.
we
I
got
don't
two
think
seasons
so, man.
already?
Because the problem
Everybody
is,
loves Boba.
yeah, everyone loves Boba.
Yeah.
Just I think
True.
his character is so bland right now. Like there's
Yeah, look,
nothing
the-
like
the
in
writing,
Mandalorian
the
because
budget.
Dante in Mandalorian season 2, people went nuts. Like when Boba showed up. Like
they
that
do.
2-pack is solely selling, not because it looks great, it does, but because of that scene. Like that scene was literally one of the best scenes in Star Wars. It was basically a Vader and Rogue One level scene. Like it was, and the problem is with Boba, Anthony's right. Like they have completely like 180'd his character. Like, and the problem is too, yes, I understand this takes place a couple years after, you know, Return of the Jedi and all that. It's a different Boba, right? He doesn't want to work for other people. Like he wants to do other things. But he's such a 180 from what he was in the original trilogy. It's not really what people wanted. You know, I feel like he's not, like even Tamura's even said, he was like, well, I feel like I'm talking too much. I'm not as mysterious as I should be. I think that's the part of the problem. I think part of the problem is
Yeah.
he is talking too much. Like he's talking too much. He's like walking around. He's trying to be like this moral altruistic leader. And like these guys were saying, like, this is an underground crime world, right? Like you can't rule with respect and admiration and trust and like loyalty. Like, it, you know, I guess somewhat loyalty, but it's power. I mean, like it's power and muscle. Like that's kind of what this world is. Like in the, you know, like when you watch Breaking Bad or The Godfather or, you know, Sopranos or whatever, like they sometimes have to rule with muscle. I mean, like, and now they're starting to do that. I think the only way kind of the show can, I don't think it's terrible. I mean, some episodes are terrible in my opinion, but you know, 2 and 4, I think were pretty good. I hated 1 and 3. 5 was great, but so it's been a mixed bag. But I feel like the only way they could kind of redeem it is if maybe they do this angle of like, okay, well, Boba came in wanting to be this kind, gentle ruler. And then by the end of the show, he realized he can't do that. And then he has to turn on the muscle and start killing people and cutting people in half like Mando's doing. That's the only way I think they could play that angle. Say like Boba, like he tried to be nice. He was with the Tuskens. They made him a little bit soft. Then he realized he can't do that. Maybe he gets betrayed by someone. Like something happens and he's like, all right, I'm going back to the old Boba Fett, right? Like maybe that could happen, but I don't know.
Then
It's
we
a
need a
stretch.
season 2 for that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Which
yeah,
I'm
it's just
okay
he's not firing his blaster. He's like talking to people too much. This stuff with the mayor, it's like it's going nowhere, I feel like. And I feel like the perfect angle, like, because people throw out the thing like, oh, you don't want a Mandalorian 2.0. Yes, but what you could have done is give it like a Mandalorian theme to it, but mixed with like Godfather, right? Which is, I think, what people were expecting. Like they were expecting like sort of a, like what Mando's cutting people in half. I mean, like I think we expected to see some violence like that from Boba, like things like that to show that he's like, this is the crime world. I mean, this is not Disneyland. Like this is not like he can't just like deal with like the Power Rangers on their Vespas and like and just be friends with everybody, and like he's got to get his hands dirty. And like this is the underworld. So, and I think it doesn't feel like the underworld right now. It feels like it, you know, just some people maybe who have mild qualms with one another, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's been a very mixed bag. Episode 5 was amazing, but it's just a problem that the episode 5 doesn't even have Boba in it. It's the best episode hands down. You know, yeah, we all love Star Wars, but at the same time, we do have to be realistic. Like I love the sequels and I'm fine with that, but it's not because I just want to love Star Wars. I just really like them. But it's not like I feel like I have to like them because of Star Wars. Like I don't love The Last Jedi, but like there are things with certain Star Wars films I don't like. And like with this, I mean, I don't know. To me, Mando is just such a better character right now. Mando has more emotion behind him. He's more badass. He does a lot cooler stuff. Like I'm worried about Tamura maybe being too old, because he's 60. Like some of these fight scenes that Mando pulls off, they're not even Pedro half the time. That's probably why they can do it. But Boba doesn't even have his helmet on half the time. So I mean, that's you can't just like replace him with another actor, right? So it's like, I don't know. There's just so many problems with the direction of the show, I feel like. And episode 4, and then I'll wrap up here. Episode 4, you finally understand why he's doing what he's doing. It only took one scene, but it happens in episode 4. Like, that's like, you don't understand why he wants to be the underworld crime lord at all until that point. He's just like doing it. You're like, okay, I guess I'm just along for the ride. But you have no backstory for his motivation, why he's doing it, what he wants. Like, in episode 4, he's like, yeah, I'm tired of working for other people. That's literally all it took. That's why the show feels so out of order. Like, it's like you have episode 4, you get the development, and then all the other ones, you're like, just like chasing people in the streets, like, and talking about water prices. And like, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not sure what they were thinking with the show so far. It might turn out to be great, But Mandalorian, it just feels like lightning in a bottle at this point.
Right.
Like Mandalorian, they got lucky almost. But
Right. Let me ask this question for the panel in general. But before we do that, Single Sun Writer says, what if episode 5 was made deliberately for Book of Boba Fett for a reason? For Book of Boba for a reason. Like they did that episode for a reason because there's something behind it that we don't know yet.
Well,
But
of course, that's why they put it there. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't do it.
I think we would
I just
accept
don't
it
know
a
what
lot
the
more.
reason is.
I think we would accept episode 5 a lot more not having Boba Fett if the first 4 episodes were stronger. You know?
right.
Mhm.
And I think that's the main thing is that they weren't strong. So now you have that episode come out and Mandalorian's looking so much better than Boba Fett that it's like, wow, what happened? Here? You know,
And
the
you only
budget
have
got
2
better,
more,
too.
and you only have 2 more, and
you only
now
have 2
you just
more.
not wasted, but you gave a whole episode to Mando when Boba's had like no development. So
Right.
like
That's the irony of it is that
Right.
episode 5 made me dislike the show even more.
even more
Because I'm like, wow,
Yeah, you see
okay.
the good things with
So
Mando
you
and
can
how
put all
great
this
it
great
is.
lore and
Right.
backstory and future story, character development, budget, interesting everything in it, like, and you don't do that to the show.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that really bugs me too is I know there's probably not a whole lot of DC love around here, but this show is going on the same time that Peacemakers is airing. And
I love
Peacemaker.
It's so good.
and here's the
It's
thing.
really good.
I love Boba
it.
Fett, and I hated Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad, from the movie. I hated his character. Wasn't even going to watch Peacemaker on HBO, but then now that's on Thursdays and this is on Wednesday, so I'm kind of neck and neck with them both. And here's the thing. I've enjoyed that show from start to finish, each and every episode. Like,
Yeah.
because some people are like, well, you need to be patient. I'm like, but I can watch Peacemaker and I'm loving it and I enjoy it so much. And I love the character development and the arcs. And you actually start caring about these characters. I don't care about half the characters because it's so shallow with some of the writing that's going on. So I think that hurts it too, is because I'm watching another show at the same exact time and I'm loving every moment of that show. And maybe it's because I had low expectations, but I don't know, they're doing something right. And I see the show stumbling. I still do enjoy it. So don't get me wrong, but I mean, Peacemaker's where it's at. Give us a hot toy. Come on.
yeah, I'm telling you,
It's a great show.
I actually was watching it on the weekend.
Vigilante.
You know, I think okay, I kind of agree with your thought, Graham, but we are 120 people watching, guys. Come on, hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to all my friends' channel. Let's get my friend Anthony 1,000 subscribers. He's only like 50 away. So if you haven't
Super close.
subscribed,
Hey.
Super close.
let's do it. You know, and of course, I have all my friends' channels, links, everything down there. And if you want to become a member of the show, the channel rather, by all means you should. We have exclusive content and we have an awesome show that we actually premiere on Sunday with Aries, and it was really good, man. Like we had so
Yeah, it
much
was
fun.
fun.
So if you want to become a member, you know what to do. The link is in the description. But you know what? Talking about the Peacemaker show, right? I really like the show. I'm right now episode 3 or 4, I think. And I think the difference between those Book of Boba Fett and Peacemaker is that the Peacemaker is rated R for mature. So you have gore, you have sex, you have profanity all over. So it's much easier to make a show like that. When you have a Book of Boba Fett, which is PG-13, you know, it's like certain, you know, for certain audience, is, you know, I think that's the main difference, right? It's like Deadpool, for example, right? If you see Deadpool, you know what to expect. But if you see, for example, I don't know, Ant-Man, for example, you know that it will be more like comedy, but it will be less
Tame.
profanity. Exactly.
That's how this feels.
I think that's the main difference. And because
Hey,
let me tell you, I didn't expect this freaking guy John Cena to be so freaking good, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's amazing.
He has. I was like paying attention on the acting piece, and the guy nailed it, man. It's just funny as hell, and I love that intro, man. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
intro.
Oh, I
It's the
love
one
the
intro
intro.
you don't
I love
skip.
it.
It's the
But
one
it's
you
almost
never
like they
skip.
The
don't
one you don't
care.
skip.
Yeah.
They don't
Dude,
care, so they're
I-
taking all these risks.
Yeah.
And it's just
Right. It's
I
just
just
all
feel
playing
like
off.
that
Boba's
song.
so safe.
Yeah, it is.
That
And
intro
Boba should
reminds
not be
me-
safe. Yeah.
That intro reminds me of a show. I'm trying to remember which one it is. The movie was in a movie with Tom Cruise and Robert Downey Jr. Where Tom Cruise is the one of the bad guys that calls somebody the terrorist. And
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic
Isn't
Thunder.
that? I don't know why I had that feeling that looks similar. That dancing part at the beginning.
Oh,
You know,
It's kinda like that.
When,
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
dances at the end with the chain, he's like,
Yeah, with,
Remember that?
ludicrous song. Yeah.
yeah, that was a good one. But
James Gunn just an amazing director and
True.
writer.
Yeah, he's
that's
amazing.
what it is. Like I think
Yeah.
John Cena is great, but like having James Gunn directing him, I think it's amazing. Yeah.
I think it wouldn't be the same without James Gunn.
Nah, the
At the
dude's
show,
incredible.
yeah.
I agree.
so are we all are? I mean, again, I'm gonna exclude myself on this. Like, I think you guys have a definitely different view than me in terms of the show itself. But I can see when you expose your points, I can see that as well. And I'm like, you know what? That's actually a pretty good point. You know, do you think the direction of the show in general maybe is poor writing, maybe is poor acting, maybe they should have done something different in terms of keeping Boba Fett mysterious? Yes, of course, we know how he looks without the helmet. Maybe just do that for one episode or two, and then just keep it with the helmet. But another thing that I'm thinking is they hired, Tamora Morrison, so they want to show his face as well. They don't want to just
Sure.
keep in the helmet for the whole show. Like nobody will see his face,
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a balance, and I can agree with that because yes, we do see his face a lot. So do
Yeah.
you guys think it's the writing style? Do you think maybe another director, maybe Filoni? I think somebody said is going to direct this episode, so maybe we're going to see something different, and maybe we're going to be like, shit, it was just a matter of a different director, different writer. What are your thoughts? Who wants to chime in first?
I will briefly. I'll just say that, yeah, because I mean, we all know, or if you don't know, like, Will had mentioned it as already that, Tamora Morrison came out and was like, yo, I don't like my character, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically.
Talks too much, no helmet, and he was trying to give other actors their lines, and then Jon Favreau would come back and be like, no, you got to do it this way, or whatever, because that's how they have it set. Or, and I know they have a plan, but I feel like, yeah, man, it sucks when you have Mando, the show, right? And just about everything in the show is good. The writing, the directing, the story, the characters, the introduction to, prequel characters, and obviously the introduction to new characters such as Mando and Fennec, people that didn't exist prior in the Star Wars. Everything felt Star Wars, dude. Everything. And it's like, okay, are you not using the same crew?
Wonder, right?
Right. So I'm like, so what's going on? Are they working on Mando season 3 right now? That crew? Maybe that's why this is like a B show in that respect. They're different showrunner or something. I don't know what the overall thing is. Or is it a Kathleen Kennedy thing where they're like, hey, we want to put in more of this silly Star Wars-y stuff that she likes to do. I don't know. Like, so it's very weird. And then when we come off from him being a badass in Mando, that's my biggest complaint. I ain't even referring to the original trilogy at this point. You've now reintroduced us to Boba, and in the Star Wars timeline, it's like a week or two later, and he's totally different. He's totally different. So it's like,
Right.
was this a bait and switch? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. And I understand the logic too, like the comment about be patient and things like that. But I think the problem to me on that one is just there's too much good content out there to sit around and wait for something to get good. Like that's
Right.
like there's too much competition. Like Graham was saying, Peacemaker, every episode is giving you something. Like every episode is latching on. Like some of the Book of Boba episodes, like 1 and 3, in my opinion, are just really not great. And like, yeah, patience is great, but it's kind of like if anyone's played Red Dead Redemption 2, it's like Dutch always has a plan, right? Dutch always has a plan, and you're kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
like eventually you're like, okay, Dutch has a plan. He has a plan. He's going to get you out of this. He's going to get you this. And eventually it's kind of like, okay, but they got to show me something. Like they showed me Mando. He was great. But in episode 4 and 2, I enjoyed overall, but it's still like, patience is great, but like there's too much good stuff out there to wait around even for something to get good. That's what I've always said about Clone Wars, right? I know people love Clone Wars, but I watched season 1, they're like, oh, you got to get to season 3 or 4. But I'm like, there's too much other stuff I could be watching to get through 3 bad seasons, in my opinion.
Like Cobra Kai?
Yeah, like Cobra Kai, exactly.
Cobra
Like
Kai.
No, I still gotta
Ozark,
watch
like,
season 4.
and literally, and Mando's the perfect example of that because Mando, the first episode, shit is popping off, right?
Yeah,
he's on like a turret basically with IG-11 shooting people, and then you got your emotional hook at the end of the episode. He finds Grogu, shoots IG-11, bam, amazing first episode, right? Hooked right away. Like every episode of Mando, you get something. Like even the Spider episode, even that, let's kind of toss away episode. You still got something cool. Like it's like a horror film in Star Wars. At least got something unique, right? Like these episodes, it's like you're getting street chases with like, cyberpunk biker gangs and like the Tuscan thing was okay, but I wasn't really latching onto that. So to me, yeah, I
Right.
understand the patience argument, but at the same time, like it's just we live in a different world now. I feel like yeah, the show might end up great with the last couple episodes, but there's like The Boys. Every episode is great. Like you're getting
Yes,
something
I love
every
that show.
episode, right?
Yeah.
Like the first episode, you get Robin gets like blown up in the street. I mean, like you're getting stuff, and you get Huey's whole hook in that first episode. Why he does what he does. You get Butcher showing up. Like it's just with this
Right.
stuff, like there's just so much like patience thrown around, but it's just not. You know what I mean? Like it's just not practical nowadays.
That's true.
I totally agree
But
with you.
let me, sorry, Aki, let me acknowledge Spice Runner with the $2 super chat. Hot Toast is done making DC because no guns from Warner Brothers.
Yeah, we still got the Batman coming. We still got Aquaman, Flash. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of DC stuff this year.
I think they
curious-
can make it. They just can't advertise it. Like I think
Yeah.
they can.
Yes,
Mm.
I
They don't
think
put
Like
Yeah.
J&D,
photos and
the
stuff.
Joker comes with a gun. They even though they did anyway, they're not supposed to
Right.
show it, but they can give it. To
Right.
Yeah.
Same with the Catwoman. They didn't show her with a gun in one of those pictures, right? The reissue
Right.
you.
ones.
Right, but I think she has
they
one.
just- she has one.
And what is Batman without a gun? He needs to have his weapons. Yeah, it's kind of like,
That's
I don't
true.
know, giving Spider-Man with no web.
Yeah.
That's
you
true.
know,
Right? Yeah.
Green
Uh-oh,
Goblin
but,
with no
very
glider. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Spice Runner, for the $2 super chat. Yeah, so overall, I think the Book of Boba Fett is, to me, I think is a good show. I do agree with you guys that we need more action. We need more of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
We need more, less talk, more action. I do agree.
Right.
Still, I enjoy the show, but yes, it is something is still missing. Now, I'm gonna still give the benefit of the doubt because we still have 2 more episodes. Maybe episode 6 and 7 are so awesome that we're gonna forget everything that happened before. It was just kind of like building up to this moment, and
Right.
from now on, this is how he's gonna be. So we'll still have that chance, right? We still need to watch those 2 episodes.
Right.
So,
Quick shout out to
Yeah.
a professor in the house. Yo, Anthony, almost at 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
true. Almost, man.
Almost, we get in there. All right, so enough with Boba Fett. I think we spoke about good chunk of Boba Fett, but I want to talk about this one here. I'm going to start with Will on this one. I'm going to share my screen because we were talking about DC, no guns, whatever. But you know what? I was watching the trailer of this thing, and I don't know, man. I want to freaking watch this movie. I think we're up to something. What are your thoughts, Will?
Oh, dude, this movie, it's almost 3 hours, by the way.
movie's
Like it's
3
like
hours?
it's like a 3-hour movie. Yeah. It's
Whoa,
like, but I'm excited as hell for it, man, because again, I think we just talked about this, like something different. Like this is still Batman, but it's a very different take than what we've seen. Even Nolan's
Yep.
film. Nolan's films can get pretty dark, but this is like almost like detective Batman. That's the way it's being advertised, right? And I think, I mean, honestly, I just going to throw this out there. I think Robert Pattinson has the chance to become at least my favorite Batman and a lot of people's because of how, like, I think tortured he looks, right? And that's something that I think is going to be cool. This is going to be a dark, very rough, gritty film. Like, I don't think this is going to be a Batman that's all cheery and, even like the Bruce Wayne in Dark Knight. Sometimes he has his moments where he's joking and stuff. I don't know that we're going to get that here. I think he's going to be mostly like kind of emo Batman. I think he's going to be... and that's fine. I think it's going to be cool, but it's also kind of Batman still learning the ropes, right? He's still learning his way. And also like seeing the Batmobile he has in this film and seeing how like the Riddler's like a serial killer. Like he's like a legit serial killer, like killing people. So and I think that's amazing, right? This movie I even saw, I was watching a video today, I think it was John Campea talking about it, how it's projecting like for a box office like to perform very well. Like this film has marketed perfectly. They've shown just enough. The cinematography looks insane. Hot Toys has already teased this guy. So it's definitely going to happen. But dude, this hopefully it doesn't let down because I think people's anticipation and expectations are like
too
way
high.
higher.
It's
Yeah,
too
so I
high.
mean, expecting it to be like Dark Knight 2.0, which that's a pretty high bar. But Matt Reeves has shown he can do amazing things, and so has Robert Pattinson. So I have high hopes for it. But yeah, I mean, it just looks like what we need right now. Like remember how Joker was very different? I think people latched on to that. It's different than Marvel because we all love the MCU, right? But at the same time, like this is like I like that DC kind of takes a different route to this, gives something more grounded. They still have Snyder Cut, which is amazing. That's still kind of dark too, but this is like a grounded superhero film, right? Like kind of like The Dark Knight. And I think people will latch on to that like they did Joker, right? Joker's the same way. Joker doesn't have like flying superheroes and this and that. It just has a guy with a rough time who turns bad, right? Like this is Batman's going to be a similar thing, just kind of tracking down, you know, a serial killer and following the breadcrumb trail. So yeah, this film's going to be great. I would hope so anyway. If it sucks, I think we're all going to be majorly disappointed because it's got to be the best marketing of all time. Either way,
Yeah.
I mean, if the film sucks, then like, damn, kudos to you, marketing team, because you make it look amazing.
I mean,
Will,
Will, the crazy thing is that one of the posters, you have to have like a flashlight, but you can see like symbols in the posters. You have to use a flashlight to see the symbols, like zodiac symbols or something like that.
I think this film is going to be very popular, and I think we're all going to spend a lot of money on some Batman collectibles.
And you know what? I'm not a huge Batman fan. I do have, you know, some DC figures like the Justice League because I kind of like the movie and the series, you know, overall.
Right.
But you know, so far what I saw in the trailer, the darkness of it, you know, I want to watch it, even though I still have in my head when I see the actor portraying Batman, the Twilight, because you know I hated that movie. I went with my wife to the movies because she wanted to watch that. I was pretty much sleeping, you know. And I think I have a bias against the guy, right? But in all fairness, he has some really good movies. Like the Lighthouse is one of them, you know.
He's a great actor.
Water for Elephants?
He's a good yes, he is a good actor. So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna go open-minded. I wanna see how he's gonna do the movie, like how he's gonna the acting. I know he's gonna be a good acting. I want to see how the story develops, right? And the characters that we're gonna see. I want to see Catwoman. I want to see the Riddler. I want to see like crazy stuff. You know, it needs to be dark. Batman has to be dark. But KG, what are your thoughts about this? You know, the movie itself, potential Hot Toys figures. Let us know. Go.
Here's the thing. To me, it feels like, because I've always thought of this idea that Tobey Maguire is like Christian Bale Batman, and Andrew Garfield is like the Ben Affleck, and then, you know, now we have Robert Pattinson. He's like the Tom Holland of now with DC. I think this movie is going to be big, and what we have seen from TV spots, from the trailer, that one scene where it's a long take towards the end of the trailer where he's beating all those Riddler gangs with the guns. It felt like an arc. I don't know if you guys played the Arkham game, but it felt like an Arkham,
like a video game. It feels like a video game.
Yeah, video game, right? So, I mean, this Batman. I mean, I think this is the most comic book accurate as far as the detective style towards Batman. And I mean, I've heard that there's rumors that there's a 4-hour cut of this film.
Damn.
So, I mean, if that's true, if we're gonna get a 4-hour cut, I'm okay with that. The director's cut, if they do that, I mean, I really hope this film doesn't, you know, screw up. And it's just it's too big. I mean, from what we have seen so far, I'll be shocked if this film is really bad. And I'm surprised that this movie's rated PG-13. Because I went to see the ratings. It said it has strong violence, strong content. I'm like, that sounds like a rated R movie rather than a PG-13 film. So I don't know. Maybe that brings more people in movie theaters because of that reason. But
I do agree. You know, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I think movies like this,
I'm
okay if it's rated R. And yes, people are gonna say, "Well, kids want to see movies." Kids, I understand that, but it's a lot. I mean, think about this, right? We have Disney Plus with 99% of the content 99.9% of the content is for kids. We have a different streaming, different movies, like big movies. So you know, if you want to make a really good movie, to me, I mean, again, it's just my opinion. I can be 100% wrong, but this is the way I see it. If you want to make a superhero movie, like a badass movie, it has to be rated R. You need to put something like that. You're gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming, right? You know, you want to see that. So I think when directors start going that route, instead of thinking, no, it has to be PG-13, so let's just cut the guns, cut the knives, don't do the the weapons, just leave it like that. So it's gonna end up having like a freaking, I don't know, like you know what I'm saying, like a rough type of
Right. No, I mean, you're definitely right, Dante. I think with DC, I mean, they before the whole Batman and everything situation, DC really wanted to follow Avengers when it came to their lighthearted films. and it didn't turn out well, as we can see from the Justice League film, the Joss Whedon version of the Justice League. It didn't turn out well. The Aquaman movie was okay. It wasn't the best. I think for DC, it deserves to be dark. I think, and even in the comics, it's a very dark themed comic books. I mean, from Batman to Superman. As far as kid content, do it to the animated series. Don't do it to the films. I think for films like the Batman should be rated R. And I hope that there's an extended version that is a rated R cut. Because I think the director even came out and said that he really wanted to be free from doing anything that he wants from this film. And I think he got some freedom doing it. Maybe he really wanted to go dark, but the Warner Brothers like, no, I'll keep PG-13 because we want more sales, more toys, and things like that. So, I mean, with the success of Joker, I mean, why not make this rated R? I mean, yes, that was outside of the pandemic. That was outside of the pandemic. Right. And that was outside of the pandemic. I understand that, but it can still do well, even in the pandemic. This movie is it's not gonna be big as No Way Home, but it's definitely gonna be big for sure. It's gonna make a lot of money at the box office. And Hot Toys, they're gonna make some figures of this, because I think Batman and Spider-Man and Iron Man are their three most made figures from just in general. I mean, they've made multiple Batmans, they've made multiple Spider-Mans, obviously. Iron Man's number one. So I think we're going to get maybe two Batmans. We might get a second outfit towards the end. I've heard that there's going to be I think it's in the trailer where we're going to get Bruce Wayne sort of when he's like not wearing the suit, where you can see he's like riding in the bike. So we're going to get vehicles. We're going to get a lot of stuff from this film. I hope we get a villain. Riddler looks pretty interesting. He's I don't know about you guys, but he kind of reminds me of the Zodiac Killer from what we have seen. I've read the book. I've watched the film. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the film. When the film drops, less than a month away. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts. Can't wait.
Before I go to Jorge, I want to say thank you, Denovi, for the $2 super chat. He says, "Wait, I missed out the booty, Boba Fett trashing,
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett trashing." Well, we didn't trash it. We just kind of thought about our opinion about the show, and I think we had a consensus that even if you guys see the poll that I put on the chat, we got 41% saying that the show is okay, 32% says that the show was good, 19% says the show is bad, and only 8% says that the show is awesome. So I think I'm the 32% category. So I think we have some mixed feelings about the show. It's fair to say based on the poll. Good numbers. But thank you, Denovi, for the $2 super chat. Jorge, what are your thoughts about this movie? I mean, I'm pretty sure you saw the trailer. I can see a Batman behind you. So what are your thoughts about this? Is this going to be a hit or miss?
When I first saw the first trailer, I wasn't excited for it, and I wasn't excited to hear Robert Pattinson playing Batman. I'm still not excited about that cowl. I'm not a fan of the design of the suit, in my opinion. The second trailer looked badass. When I saw the second trailer, I was like, okay, I really want to see this. The grittiness of it, I really like that DC takes it to that level. I kind of wish they would make this just rated R, and just give it to us full blown. Because we've seen what they're doing with Peacemaker right now. They're letting it go, and DC's okay with doing that. So it would be nice to see to have a Batman movie go that far. Because I think with the Dark Knight trilogy was a step darker than the 89 Batman, right? And 89 Batman was a step darker than the 70 or the 60s, 60s Batman that we had back then. So seeing it go that far would be amazing. I am very hopeful for this. I'm also kind of worried. There's so many villains that they've shown in one movie, and I don't have any backstory yet or what's going on with these characters. I'm not familiar with the story itself for me to be like, fully into it like that. But just from the trailer alone, I'm still kind of hyped about it. So as far as figures go, I don't know what figures are going to come out with. I've already seen the statues like going all over the place, which I think is nuts. I don't like when they release figures and statues before a movie drops. Because it's like we're all invested in it. The pre-orders are already out on the what is it, the Prime One Studios Batman of this particular design.
Looks
great.
It does look
looks
awesome.
Great.
It does, especially with that Jim Lee.
We don't
portrait.
even know what the hell the shit's about. We don't know if it's good or bad. So it's like,
and look what happened with Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman, everybody was buying the gold Wonder Woman statue, right? A bunch of people bought it.
Yeah.
And then it came out, and I was like, this was bad, man. It was,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens when it comes out. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be dope.
But I mean, it's like if you look at DC in their past film, even the animated series, everything that's dark does well. I mean, with the lighthearted films like the Aquaman, the Wonder Woman, the second film, the Wonder Woman, was really bad. I'm sorry, I didn't like the second. The first film was great. The Wonder Woman first film, it felt dark. It felt like it felt like a DC film. These past DC films that we've done, the Justice League, the Wonder Woman, the Aquaman, felt more like a Marvel, like a copy version of Marvel that wasn't really good. So I think their DC, the darker theme, the gory theme should just keep going from now on. I think that's what they do best. That's what they can make more money from. So true.
And I want to read this comment from Fabio. It says Dante plays a lot of video games on his PS6 Peru edition. How much? What is the score right now, Fabio? Colombia, Argentina? Just let me know in the chat, please. Thank you. Graham, what are your thoughts about this? Batman, are you excited about this? I agree with Jorge. I'm also, you brought up a good point as well, Jorge, about the villains, right? There's so many villains. How is this gonna play for a movie that, maybe that's the reason why it's gonna be 3 hours long. That's what you're saying, but I want to see the story. But the second trailer, I do agree, that was like, holy cow, and there's one scene, I don't know if you guys saw that a car comes, I think it's a building or something, and everyone starts like hiding, and he's still looking. He's just looking.
Yep.
But the funeral scene,
right? But you see the expression of his face. He's just kind of like looking to see what's going on, but he's not even showing any fear or anything. He's just kind of like,
right,
what the hell is happening? Everyone is hiding. Everyone is like running around, but he's still looking. That was a sick scene, man. Sick. But Graham, what are your thoughts about this? Batman.
Batman is by far my favorite superhero. Star Wars is my favorite franchise, but Batman is where it's at for me. I've been Batman through and through since I was 4 years old. 89 Batman was the first movie I ever saw, so I've always just loved it. And I've been on this movie since the first trailer came out, before it was delayed due to COVID. So it was supposed to come out last fall. And now it's being delayed till now. So, man, it's just the extra weight is just killing me. But I believe this is Matt Reeves directing, and he's a pretty good director. So I think DC needs this film to do very well in order to kind of turn the tide on what fans think of DC right now. Because like KG said, Wonder Woman 2 was bad. Thank you for the golden suit, but the movie itself was bad. But no, Pattinson, or as we call him now, Battinson, he's going to do well. This film is going to do well. Everything I've seen so far it looks great. It's year 2 of Batman. So he's young, he's reckless. We see that through the trailers where he's just getting lit up with all these bullets. I don't know why nobody shoots him in the head, but that's a conversation for another day. So you can just see how reckless he is. He doesn't care about himself. He's kind of angry too still. So he's going through a lot of stuff. He's still growing into this hero. As it goes with the villains, I do think Catwoman is going to wind up working with him maybe in the second half of the movie. So I do think it's going to be the two main villains, but I could be wrong with that. But yes, I'm super excited. I think it's going to do well. And figures, obviously that Batman figure is going to be a must get. I kind of hope too he gets like a more upgraded suit towards the end so that we can get another figure too. Right. But Riddler would be good because he's unique and he looks awesome too. I think he's got like that gas mask on and stuff. So like that's a unique character. I didn't even know that was Colin Farrell playing Penguin until somebody told me about it. So that's crazy too. I just think it's going to be good. It's dark. It's good. All like you guys said, the dark movies do well. Logan was rated R, and that to me is the best X-Men movie that we've gotten.
Right.
Very true.
So those are my thoughts. I don't think we got to worry about it. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
We just need to wait and enjoy it. But I want to give a shout out to my friend Metamorphic Customs. DC, this Batman have been marked as a rated R movie. It only makes sense. This is where DC can really push the boundaries. Right. They'll get pushback from some sensitive moms and media, but it would work. Well, you see, like sometimes, and somebody said on the comments, I flashed it like a few minutes ago, like rated R doesn't mean the movie is going to be perfect, because the Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, they were not rated R, and they were really good.
Right.
So it all comes as well, like the writing, the director, visual effects to make the movie really good, right? So, but for a Batman movie, I still believe has to be dark. You have to have some like what happened with that scene that I was describing, like when Bruce Wayne was looking at the guy coming from the car. That's the darkness you want to see in a Batman movie, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, what are your thoughts, Anthony, on this Batman movie?
Well, I mean, I don't know yet, man. It's not out. But I think
I mean, in the trailer, like what you've seen so
Yeah.
far in the trailer.
Come
I
on,
mean,
Anthony.
you have
Yeah.
expectations about this?
No, I
You
mean,
really-
listen, I haven't watched much, right? Because I don't want to be. It's the world we live in right now. They got trailers for trailers. You know what I mean? I hate that. I just wanted to see a little bit of what it was, and I think it's either going to be really great or really horrible. I don't think there's a middle line there, personally. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing because I really think this is going to be awesome. Like we mentioned, he's a younger, year 2 Batman. He's just too reckless. He's trying to figure out what the hell he's doing. I don't know about that Riddler. It looks kind of weird, but I like the tone that they're going for anyway. It kind of reminds me of like Seven or something like that, or more detective Batman, and that's what I've always wanted to see in any iteration of Batman we've had. He's never really been. He's the world's greatest detective. I mean, let's capitalize on that somehow, and I'm not saying just have it all drama and crime detective. I mean, yeah, mix it up obviously with some action, good cinematography, stuff like that. I think it looks great. I think the tease looks cool. That Prime 1 statue looks dope. But again, I got to see the movie before I, bite into it. But I think I'm going to like it, I think. Because my opinions are weird anyway. I think, we all have different opinions on things, right? But I haven't really liked, my favorite Batmans are Keaton, and that's probably nostalgia, and then Ben Affleck. Because I felt like he was more Dark Knight style,
I kind of like that
Arkham
Batman
style.
I'm gonna be honest. I really like Christian Bale Batman. I think was really good.
Yes.
The trilogy was perfect to me. I love that.
Yes, I hate him.
But Ben Affleck
So-
to me looks more like Batman than Christian Bale. I don't know if it's just me. It's because I guess you have the impression of Batman being big, bulk, strong. That's what I like about that Batman. And he wasn't
he's
that
like
bad
Batman.
either.
Christian Bale, I just didn't like his voice. I think that's what it was.
couldn't
It
stand
just-
his voice.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Batman Begins was
it-
great, but
I
didn't
like
his voice.
Batman Begins, but when I started hearing him talk,
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, this is weird. And he was very skinny, like Dante's saying. It didn't. And I'm
He
worried
did the
about
best
this
he
guy
could,
too.
damn it.
He was
You
kind of
know.
skinny.
Well, he was kind of skinny. I don't know. I mean, the movies are cool, and I like Nolan, and I did like the cinematography in the Dark Knight movies. I did.
Yeah.
But that wasn't Batman to me. That's where I'm saying.
Right.
If the focus, if the title of the movie's Batman, then show me a Batman that I love, and that's what's but that's what's so polarizing. We all have opinions, man. It's what's our taste, right? Because I mean, I
Right.
don't like it, but then you guys love it, or you like Boba, but I don't like Boba. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You like the sequel trilogy. I hate it. There's something for everybody there. Or like KG was saying earlier, it's like the dark stuff is kind of cool, but keep in mind, a lot of people hated Man of Steel.
I love Man of Steel.
But I love Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is amazing.
That was a good movie.
I
don't
like
like
to
it that
see
much.
what
I don't
would
hate it,
happen
but I don't like it that much.
Two
Oh, dude, I
Kryptonians
loved it.
fighting on Earth.
Yeah.
That's the level of destruction
That was
I would
cool.
expect to see.
Yeah.
But people were like, that's not Superman. He's all beacon of hope and this and this and that. And so I get it. There's like, I try to go into things and look at it like, okay, this is a director and this is like Snyder, right? Like, perfect example.
His
We're talking
vision.
about- that's
Yeah.
his vision, right? So, okay, let me check it out. And same with comics.
Right.
Growing up with comics, I was like, oh, here's Daredevil. Here's a Frank Miller run. That was awesome.
Right. And I'm
Then
sure,
someone else
like,
writes it and you're like, eh.
yeah. And I'm sure, like you said, Anthony, in comics, there are different iterations of Superman. There are different iterations of Spider-Man. People wanted to try it out, and some people liked, some people didn't. The Superman stuff was, to me, Man of Steel was, it's such an underrated film. It's a really good Superman film. It's definitely, I would say it's definitely a darker version of Superman. I feel like the theme is much more darker, but it was really well paced. I think I love the story of Man of Steel. I just love that version of Superman. Henry Cavill to me is Superman. I think if he had the
he's
chance
great.
to come back,
He nailed
I
it.
think
agree.
he
He
is
did a good
Superman
job.
to me. So, and you know,
It's hard.
with
You know
this,
what? Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt. It's hard to
No,
be
no, go ahead.
Christopher Reeves, because that
Yeah,
to me
Christopher Reeves.
was my
Yeah.
Superman. Like I grew up watching the movies,
That's OG,
obviously,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
But it's
when
kind of like in the way of Michael Keaton.
exactly,
If you
Right.
put Michael
Yeah,
it's
Keaton's
nostalgia.
Batman up against like
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's Batman looks like he can kick some serious ass.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
Well, and keep in
Yeah.
mind, Tim Burton directed Batman and Batman Returns, and that was a
Yep,
very,
that's true. Yeah.
very Tim Burton-esque. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on with Catwoman? None of that's.
Right,
This isn't
right.
Batman's
Right.
story, but it was his, vision of it.
true.
I
still
and,
love it,
um,
though.
So I
Still love
appreciate it. Yeah, I love that. I feel like as long as the writers and the directors understand the properties that they're working on, that's the big thing. Then I can accept people's visions, and their versions of what the story they're trying to tell. If they have a passion for that character or that lore, that universe that they're trying to tell that story to. When you got
Right.
people that just, you hired me to do this, okay, I have no idea, about
Right.
the content. That's when things
Right.
are a mess.
I think Warner Brothers right now are finding directors that have a passion for a character now. I think now we've seen it with Suicide Squad, with Peacemaker. James Gunn is very passionate with the characters. We're seeing it with so far the Batman, it seems like Matt Reeves, reading articles, he seems like he really wanted to do a Batman film, because I know that before Robert Pattinson was cast, Ben Affleck wanted to do a Batman movie, and Matt Reeves is like, yeah, that's cool, but I want to do a younger version of Batman. I want to do a soft reboot. And I think Warner Brothers is seeing what Marvel's doing when it comes down to giving directors much more freedom on set, because I think from the past, with Justice League, there was a lot of rumors going around that they have to cut down the
that was
movie really
horrible.
short and things like that, right? So I think this, and Dante, I know I was recently watching I don't know why I was watching the Pennywise live stream, and you mentioned that you
Will, we did
love.
something. We accomplished something. Will.
I know. And
Well,
by the way,
no.
mine's about to ship, Dante. So posing.
Mine's
soon.
by the ship too. Mine's by
Yeah,
the ship too.
so,
So,
my
yeah.
second.
So,
Anyway,
but Dante,
4
you
years
mentioned
later.
you love horror, and Matt Reeves has been saying this over and over again. This is a horror film. It feels like a horror Batman film. And from the funeral scene, that scene where that car is about to come in, that funeral scene, he's looking up, and that it's the Riddler, but you can't see him, and I got goosebumps. It's like, it feels like a horror film because we can't see, because we know who plays him, but we can't see who really is the Riddler yet, right?
And
So
that's-
it's much more of a
Right.
Maybe
and that's,
the
horror
movie's 4
style.
That's the
hours because
direction.
he's
So-
busy chasing Riddler trophies.
Right.
right, exactly. I can't
but
wait.
before,
I mean,
Little games,
It's-
man.
yeah, but before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Carlos with the $10 super chat. This is his ranking: Marvel, Star Wars OT, DC, everything else. Book of Boba
Book
Fett.
of Boba Fett,
Come
yeah.
on, man.
mm,
Come on.
yeah, I agree with that.
bad.
But, yeah,
But
honestly,
we all got opinions. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, it's right.
right.
Listen,
And
this
yeah.
is the show where we can talk about everything or
Yeah.
anything, and everyone's gonna have different opinions. The beauty of this is that we sharing our thoughts, and
Right.
and the more you share your thoughts, and if you have a point and it's a valid point, you're gonna say, you know what, that's right,
Right.
So this
it's
is
the
the
same
purpose
thing.
of this.
Yeah, it's the same thing that you, Will, and you guys love the Pennywise, and I
Oh,
grew up
I hate
because-
Pennywise.
No,
But most
I
people-
am not a fan.
Anthony's gonna get
most people think that you guys are crazy, that you guys like the character, that love the figure, but it's people have different opinions. I think that's a great thing about having different opinions, is that it's not boring. It brings new conversations into the table. Rather, if we had the same opinions, it would be the same boring thing, right? So it's great that we have different opinions, So
Yeah, I want to say hi to my boy Don Prime in the house. We have some members here. The Bread Movie Guy in the house. We have, we already saw Desi from Metamorphic Customs, another member of the channel, and everyone watching. We have 157 people watching. Come on, guys, hit the like button.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Let's-
smash that like
Let's,
button.
let's
like
get
that.
100. Let's get 100 likes. But now let's talk about this, because we're gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. So
Right.
let's talk about some topic that I got a bunch of messages actually yesterday and today. We get a bunch of releases after Chinese New Year, and I'm gonna do like Aries, and I say yes.
Yes.
We're gonna get a
Yeah.
bunch of shit coming after Chinese New Year, so brace yourself. One of this is gonna be this guy.
Mhm.
Classic
No
Batman
KG
is
wants
coming.
this.
The very first one is gonna
Yeah.
come on the 7th at 12:39 a.m. Just kidding. I don't know, just making up the time. But I'm gonna start with KG on this one because he likes. I know he likes the classic Spidey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we actually, if you guys saw the what's next episode that I put for the members, and also the video that I did for members as well, we spoke about this, and I think we spoke about this on the live stream on Friday, I believe. But yeah, this figure is coming soon, the 7th, most to be more precise. What are your thoughts about this, KG? I mean, this is a classic suit, and let me tell you, I'm gonna say it right now before, this is released. I have a feeling that this figure is gonna sell really good, and I have a feeling that people are gonna be pretty much hunting down this figure when it's sold out. Go.
Yeah. No, and it's people complain about our overwhelming of Spider-Man figures we're getting from Hot Toys, but I think this figure is going to sell very differently than the other Spider-Man figures. That's what I think. It's not only the classic from the video game, but it's such a versatile figure. What I mean by that is like you can use it with any Marvel figure. It's a classic suit. Yes, it belongs in the video game, but it's from the comics. You can pair this up with Captain America. You can pair this up with anybody that you want. It's such a versatile figure, and the classic suit is what everybody knows. When people think of Spider-Man, they think about the red and blue, the classic red and blue suit. And for people that are getting started, they're trying to see which Spider-Man figure to get. People have to get this one. This is in my opinion, the definitive Spider-Man to have in the collection, and I can't wait to have this. And I think it's going to turn out great, just because we know how Spider-Man figures are. They're going to turn out great as always. I think it's one of those figures where it's gonna. I might be the minority, but I think it's gonna sell out really fast.
I do think.
I think so.
Fast
because
I do think so.
It's a classic suit, and we don't tend to see a lot of Spider-Man figures, selling that they sit on Sideshow's website for a good amount of time. But this one is a very different story, and I know a few people like Lael, me, and I know Riley's planning to pick this up too, Riley Ramirez. But yeah, I don't know about anybody in the panel. But this is, for anybody who's a comic book
I'm
nerd,
just chopped liver.
Anybody who is,
Spider-Mans.
Let's go with you, Anthony, on this one. So, are you excited about this release?
Yeah, he's already paid off. He's already, like I told you earlier, I forgot I paid him off already last year. I know it happened, but he's already paid off overseas. So next week, I guess, if the rumors are true, he'll be on the way. I'll agree on all points with KG. It's classic Spider-Man, regardless. Now I get it. Like maybe we're gonna get some movie promo edition of a Tom Holland suit at the end of, whatever that was, No Way Home. Right at the end, they may do that, which is pretty reminiscent. But at the same time, this is Spider-Man. This is comic book Spider-Man. Yeah. This is Spider-Man. So of course this guy's gonna go. And I think he's not gonna. And it's not like trying to do a hype thing either, right? Because there's plenty of time to buy him. But he's not going to be on the shelves as long as, say, like Negative Suit or even 2099 or Iron Spider or, even Advanced Suit. I mean, he's going to go, I think, because that's one thing Hot Toys lacks is comic book figures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't get a lot of actual comic book style figures. Right. So he's going to go. He's going
to go. I want to share this real quick. So, Secret Base and Hot Toys is closed until the 6th. Then on the 7th, Secret Base and Echo Base is opened. The 7th. So we should expect some announcements and releases the week after, and it's probably going to be a bit busy in terms of figures because there's other figures that I want to talk about. Anyone wants to chime in about Spider-Man, or you guys want to move on to the next one?
Yeah. I think he's going to sell just because of what we've seen from No Way Home. Yeah, so I don't mean to spoil anything for anybody. I'm so sorry. But I think just for that reason alone, people are going to be hungry for this because of, it's at least a fill-in for now, right? Mm-hmm. It's at least a fill-in until maybe you get the one that is very similar to this. So I think, in my opinion, it's going to go just like Andy said, it could be a comic thing too. There's a lot of comic heads out there who really want this. But at the same time, all the people who love No Way Home, who are just dying to get something representing that on their shelf right now and don't want to wait 2 years for the Goblin or the Doc Ock to be announced, or Electro, or the Toby and Andrew, or whatever. Like this suit scratches that itch. So I feel like
True.
it could sell based on
And
that.
you do get a villain, sort of.
Yeah,
You get a villain
you
with
get
it.
kinda- you get like-
Sort of.
You gotta
So,
tell me.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
So, and it's a cool looking
cool.
suit, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Jorge, you want to add something about this classic suit, Spidey?
Looks badass, but I'm not picking it up. But it does look badass, and I do agree. And a lot of comic book guys are probably going to want this. I like that it comes with that diorama behind it. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's really neat.
Yeah,
I like that display like that. That's how I would display it. It looks cool
I
as
know.
shit.
It's pretty
It
dope.
does look great, man. It does look great.
Yeah.
I
you picking it
think
up well?
I don't think so, but I mean, I could be tempted. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. But as of now, no.
All right.
I mean, I got Spider-Man.
Well, it's
maybe.
from the game too, so he's taller.
Right.
You know,
I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'll wait
you
for
could
the
put him
No
next
Way
to
Home
Venom,
version.
Will. Put him next
Yeah,
to Venom and Carnage.
it's true.
You know?
I'll wait for the
Right.
No Way
Look.
Home version and then just get
No Way
that
Home?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough.
Graham, any thoughts about this, Spidey?
Well, I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan. I do like Spider-Man, but if I'm collecting multiples, it's going to be Batman, Darth Vader, Joker. I do have the upgraded suit, but that's because I got into the game too late. I couldn't get the Homecoming, more of the classic suit Spider-Man. So that's the one I want, though. So this definitely is something that I would consider getting, just because the light blue and that red, it's like you said, it's classic Spider-Man, and that's what I
Yeah.
want in my collection.
yeah.
And I might even make an exception, because I'll keep my upgraded suit, because obviously that's, Endgame. So, I'm going to keep kind of the Endgame gang around. But kind of like Will said, I'd almost rather wait for the No Way Home version, though. And I like the emblem on that one a little bit more, with the kind of the longer legs and whatnot. So,
Right.
but this one definitely is something that I might pick up.
One figure that we should see after, according to what I was told, after the holidays is over, is this.
Hello, Peter.
Hi? Do I know you?
What have you done with my machine?
Your machine. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. What machine?
Do you want to play games? Catch!
Nice.
So we definitely should expect an announcement on that one after the Chinese New Year. Some people were telling me, you know what, technically they can still announce stuff, because you can schedule things on Facebook to
Yeah,
be
they could.
posted.
Yeah,
so
they can schedule the
could.
post. Yeah.
So
They
They
probably
didn't
won't.
last
But
year,
it is a-
but
you
they
know,
could.
what are the
Kind
odds
of
that we
could
can
happen.
see this before the 7th? I don't know, but it could be a possibility. Not to say it's gonna happen, but just sharing. Now another, and this is gonna be the last one, because I have to wrap this up.
You ain't going anywhere.
So, so the last, one of the figures that we should see coming after the 7th, and I will probably say is gonna happen this month, is this.
Mm.
I think we
Yeah,
finally
she's
gonna see
overdue.
Ahsoka coming. It's long overdue. There's been so many delays. I think this week of vacation, holiday, whatever, it's kind of like time to think about things and say, you know what? I think we hold this shit for so long. It is time. Let's unload the Kraken. Well, thoughts about this? What are the chances that we're gonna see this figure before the end of the month?
Dude, I don't know, Dante. It's such a good question, because we've been saying this figure is going to be coming since October.
It's like 4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same with Pennywise, man. I'm honestly shocked that Pennywise came out before this. So it's pretty crazy, because even at one point, I know Toys Wonderland had posted that this was coming soon. They're like, oh yeah, you can buy it, it's coming soon, and then it just never came. So I don't know where they got their intel, but clearly something changed, right? Maybe they're changing the sculpt, but I don't know why they would do that, because I think people were already happy with it. So why would you change it? I think it looks like a great figure. At one point, I had this on pre-order, but I ultimately decided I'm going to go with the Rosario Dawson version. I don't need both. Like I said, I haven't really got into Clone Wars as much as everyone else, so I'm going to pass on this. But for me, yeah, it does look great. I mean, no doubt about it. It looks really good, and the character is beloved for a reason. I'm shocked she's taken this long to come out. There could be a million reasons for that. I've always heard the rumor, like you said, Dante, that Sideshow is maybe just waiting for theirs. They're in the port somewhere. They've been done for a while. They're all boxed up already. Who knows at this point? That seems like a long time to wait, because Pennywise is already about to ship. I'm sure Ahsoka has a bigger batch than Pennywise, but at the same time, like it just seems odd it's taking this long. To me, it would tell me that they're fixing something, like they're changing something. But I don't know why they would, because everything already seemed pretty great. So maybe there was some issue with production that they had to change something and do some last minute changes. But yeah, this looks like a great figure. So I'm really happy because there's a lot of people waiting for this. Really
A lot
bad.
of people. And a lot of
Like,
people paid this up
anticipate
already
this.
too. So think
Yeah,
about that.
like-
a lot of people, their money's sitting pretty much waiting.
Right. And like I like I said, I'm going with Rosario, but a lot of people really love this Clone Wars version of the character, and I totally understand. So she's beloved for a reason, like I mentioned. I'm happy for people that are getting this because they've been waiting for a long time. So I hope they get it soon.
Good. My friend KG.
Yeah. Honestly, I believe you, Dante, because it's people online were posting that now there's a shipping thing with on Ahsoka on Sideshow. So I think she's close. I think the idea that she's already there is kind of, I don't think it's like, I think she was close. She was close to Sideshow. They're getting it pretty soon. They're just waiting for Sideshow to do the review, and then voila, then they will release it, and Sideshow will release their video on it. So yeah, I mean, this is a figure that's been long awaited. I mean, every week we've just been saying, oh, she's coming this week, she's coming this week, and it's just like, yeah, nothing yet. So I mean, I think it's time for her to be announced. I mean, she's long overdue. It's been 4 or 5 months now since her delay. So, to me, I'm gonna get her. I'm not gonna pre-order her right now, but I'm definitely gonna get her once I do have the funds to get her. But she's definitely coming to the collection. I mean, this is to my eyes, I think she's the definitive Ahsoka to have. I do have the one on Mando on pre-order, but I think this is the definitive one to have if you want to have it with Rex and the 501st Battalion troopers and also Maul. So, yeah, and she's great.
Can't wait. I agree. Jorge, what are your thoughts about this one? Are you excited to see this baby coming?
Excited. I cannot wait for this to come in. I got like every single Ahsoka Tano piece coming through already. This one here I've been waiting for a really long time. I got Captain Rex. I got Darth Maul coming to go along with her. 2 of the Coruscant guards. I mean, I love the Clone Wars. So yeah, I'm hyped for it. Hopefully she comes soon. Didn't she go up for pre-order after the quarter scale Mandalorian? I thought she did, or
no,
before.
I think it was before.
I think that was before.
Before, and yet that came out before her. That's
Right.
weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, that didn't involve with the head sculpt. That's the thing. Maybe the head sculpt might have taken.
Yeah,
maybe the
maybe.
head sculpt.
Longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, but yeah, it's a nice looking character.
Oh,
nice
man.
looking
Looks
statue
great.
or figure.
Yeah. Graham, Ahsoka. Chances that we're gonna get her before the end of the month?
I think there's a good chance that we'll get her before the end of the month, but I do think it's going to be pretty close to the end of the month. I don't think it's going to be right after the new year when everybody comes back. I think it's going to be a little bit yet. And if it's not, it'll probably just be delayed again. So who knows? But I'm not going to be getting this one, but kind of like Will, I'm not the biggest Clone Wars fan. I'm more of trying to set up all the Mandalorian set. So I have my Rosario Dawson, Ahsoka pre-ordered as well, so I'm more excited for that one. But this figure looks great, and I'm really happy for everybody that's coming around to the finish line with her and getting ready to get her in hand. So that's pretty cool.
Fair enough. Anthony?
Yeah, I agree. I talked about this actually earlier today. On my channel, I was talking about these figures, and I feel like Ahsoka and Maul and probably Snowspeeder Luke. I think these are all we're gonna get bombarded, this month. May not be right now, obviously, but like mid to end of month, I mean, we're gonna get some, and Spider-Man. I mean, they're gonna probably drop 4 to 6, releases, not announcements. Like 4 to 6 releases are gonna happen this month, and I think she looks great as it is. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if they're trying to get a whole batch over to a big batch over to Sideshow for like a concurrent, release. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. We don't know. I think she looks great. I think it was all bullshit with rumors. They're not changing that sculpt, at all, because it's just more production nightmare that they don't need to deal with. Why would they? This looks great. We're getting a Rosario Dawson Mando. I'm kind of on that side. I'm more excited for that one. But I'm picking up both. I'm going to pick up both because you know what I mean? I have a Clone Wars shelf already. So that's where this one's going to go. And then the Mando one's going with the Mando stuff. So I'm looking forward to both of them. But dude, she'll be here. She'll be here this month. She'll be here soon. I'm pretty damn sure.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, and we're going to go quick over the panel here, is this guy. We should expect to see Jango Fett as well. So I'm telling you, we're going to get bombarded with shit. So this is also long overdue. And I have a feeling I have a feeling that something is going to happen in episode 6. Something is going to happen tomorrow on Book of Boba Fett, and we may see this guy coming us super fast as well. I'm going to start with Anthony on this one briefly, my friend. It is long overdue. It is time for this guy.
Yeah, and we'll wrap that up because I know we got to get going here. But I kind of forgot. That's the same thing I mentioned today on my show. Same thing, Jango. I think he's going to be out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's perfect. Like as soon as episode 7 is over, and it coincides perfectly with the new year, that boom, boom, we're done. Here's Jango. I see no reason why it's going to follow the hype train of Book of Boba Fett. He's relevant. Even in the episodes we've seen so far, they're flashbacking to it. So, and it needs to come out anyway. So why not? That's like the perfect time for it to do it. And when you look at the schedule release, it's February to March anyway on Sideshow. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I swear, a couple weeks, dude, he's going to be for sale.
I think we're going to have a lot going on by this month. What are your thoughts, Graham? Long overdue?
I agree with Anthony. This was actually one I thought they were going to sneak in before the Chinese New Year. I thought this was the last one that they were going to, release, and everybody would kind of be hyped going into the new year, but it wasn't meant to be. So I'm guessing, within the next week or two, I would assume he'll be released, and more happy Star Wars fans. But he looks great, so it's long overdue.
Jorge, do you think we're gonna see an improvement on the head sculpt on this one?
Like
if it is
different from
released?
what they're showing in this picture? I think. I mean, I would think that if, as first of all, has Hot Toys ever done that? I would think they would let people know they're going to change the head sculpt before they do it just abruptly like that. I think the head sculpt
they
looks
abruptly
pretty good.
do it.
They do.
Well,
Wow.
most recently was Endgame Hulk.
Oh wow. Okay.
And Ray.
When they put it out, the final product photos, and they're like, it's now on sale. They were like, here's updated sculpts, by the way.
Usually it's for
okay.
the better, but yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
for the better. Okay.
Yeah, not
Yeah, but
always,
see, in
though.
the statue area, they don't do that.
Yeah, right.
So, but I'm super excited for this. And if what you guys are saying is right, that all this stuff's coming, I should probably get back to the strip club and start doing my thing, do
Yeah,
a little
man.
dance.
Yeah, you got to
Money maker.
I want to give a shout out to Carlos for the $50 bomb. Great show, bro.
Wow.
Get a
Hey.
PS5. Carlos is Peruvian, so probably he's gonna watch the game in a few minutes. So, man, let's win this game, man. We need to win this game. But thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I need to get a PS5. I'm trying because I wanna kill everyone when I play PS5. I don't care if you're on my team. I'm gonna kill you still. I'm gonna just laugh because that's what I do. I do crappy things, So and I want to play with Will because he always tells me, "Yo, you should play with us."
I know,
want to
man.
really play.
You got to play Battlefront and Call of Duty with us, man.
Oh, man.
Anthony played
Those
with
are
us.
fun games.
Those are
Yeah,
fun,
man.
freaking
Sounds
fun
cool.
games.
KG's going to join too when he gets PS5.
Hopefully, man,
Yeah.
one day.
We are 185 people watching. Is amazing. I mean, I think
awesome.
the 7:30 p.m. was actually a good time. Maybe
It was a hit.
if you guys like that time for a Tuesday 7:30 p.m. Hey, by all means, let me know and I'll change it. But thank you, everyone watching.
185, man. Let's hit that like button.
Yeah. KG, what are your thoughts about this Jango Fett? Do you think we're gonna see some type of improvement in the health scope? Is gonna be the same? What are your thoughts?
What is there to improve? I mean, this sculpt is amazing. I think it's going to be a great figure. I grew up with the prequels. I love the prequels, so this is a must-have for me. But I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm going to wait till I make more. Have the funds to get it. But this is definitely going to come to my collection for sure. Jango Fett is the father of all the clones. I mean, you got to have them. If you have all the other clones, you might as well have this guy as well. But yeah, I think it's going to turn out well. There's no need to change. I mean, this is already a perfect figure, even in the prototype. So if the sculpt turns out the way we got from the 2-pack, yeah, it's going to be another 10 out of 10. It's a great sculpt. It's more Morrison. So,
Well,
Dude, this is the best George Bush representation of all time. No, I'm just kidding. There was that joke going around for a while that he looked like George Bush. I kind of see it from certain angles, but at the same time, I don't really think it. I think he
Messed
looks
him
like
up the figure for me. Now I'm
See,
seeing it.
you see it, don't you? You see that George
Oh,
Bush?
yeah.
I mean, kind of like it does have a little bit of a George Bush look to it, but like it's a really good figure. And I think I've said for a while, unless he shows up in Book of Boba somehow in a flashback scene or something, which is totally possible because they've teased it a couple times now. I think to me this has the makings of a minimum, like Denobi calls it, a chase figure, because it's probably getting made once, right? Like
Yep.
this is kind of like a Count Dooku type figure, like where you're getting it one time and that's it, right? It took long enough for this figure to be put up for pre-order anyway. It was shown for multiple years, never was put on pre-order, then finally was. So I think, yeah, this could be one that if you want it, go for it. I don't think I'm gonna really care about it personally, but I do think it looks great. I think for the diehard Star Wars fan, they're going to go crazy for this figure because it's been a long time coming. And like I said, I do think you might only get one shot at it. Not to promote FOMO necessarily, but just to be realistic about it.
FOMO.
Is it possible?
Is it possible?
Is it possible?
TK FOMO.
Is it possible that George Bush will become a Grail?
This is the reason why I ask everyone about the Hesco, because I do think it's a bit off. Just me. I mean, I don't know. I do think it's a bit off.
It's mostly there, though. It's mostly
there, but I think it's going to be an
Mostly, yeah.
improvement. I think it's going to be.
This could be a Ray, right? A Ray where there was like not that great,
Right.
and then they fix it. Or Wasp, like Evangeline Lilly was another one. Kylo Ren, even Rise of Skywalker. The original prototype was like solid, but then it got a lot better. Same with Killmonger too. When they eventually did show it, then they corrected it, so it was better. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great figure. I'm not going to get it, but I think a lot of people are going to love it.
Oh,
I have full confidence that this figure will do. The head sculpt will be great, just because look at Cody, look at Rex, now look at Tupac Boba Fett. I mean, Tamora Moore, they're nailing the Tamora Morrison sculpt. So I'm not worried for this figure to be bad. It's just gonna be. It's gonna be.
But
a good
I
one,
do got to
for
say, Dante, before we go, I know you are right though. Before the last point, I think people do need to prepare for the storm, as Denobi likes to call it, because you're gonna get dropped all this is gonna get dropped on your head, on your bank account. So, like I said, save those tax returns, save all that money you have coming, and don't buy any more stuff at the moment if you can help it.
My taxes. I don't want to wait there.
I know.
It's coming.
I know. See, I'm a middle class person, so I get tax money back. So it's just nice. So yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my YouTube income of $500 in my tax.
That's what you do, man. That's how you do it. IRS will be calling any day.
I know, but I want to give a shout out to Carlos Toy Collector with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Hello, fellow collectors and YouTubers from the land of Patrick Mahomes. Me gusta tu contenido. Soy un nuevo subscriber. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. And we're almost 200 people watching. Almost. We're 195. Is it possible we're gonna break the 200? Well, actually, it's not possible. 190. So it dropped 5. As soon as I mention everyone out, let me out. But anyway, let's hit the like button, guys. Don't Prime, hi, jump money. Yeah, no, that's to pay my taxes, man. I need to pay taxes. Everything goes in the tax jar. Actually, you know what? I need a freaking vacation, man. I need to get out of the country, go to somewhere like exotic, hot, All right, so let me do one more before we go. I'm gonna be late anyway, but fuck it. All right, let me do one more. This guy here, Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker. Yeah. So this guy is another. So if you see the pattern, right, we have a bunch of Star Wars crap coming. So brace yourself, like Will said. Get your wallets ready, because you definitely gonna need a lot of money. If you have your tax returns already, your refund, which I think is too early, but if you are one of those lucky ones, save it, because it's gonna happen. I'm gonna start with Will on this one. We have Anakin. I have a prediction for this. I do think that this guy is gonna happen right after Chinese New Year.
Yeah,
you go.
That's fair, Dante, and I think another one that Anthony mentioned, a lot of really good ones. Another one is Cable. That could easily come out, pretty soon. But yeah, this Anakin looks great. I'm actually lacking with an Anakin right now in my collection. So this is one that I am looking at, despite that I don't love Clone Wars that much, because I really do like the look of the figure overall over time. At first I was kind of like, I don't really know. I kind of like him in the, the Jedi robes a little bit more, but over time this has kind of grown on me with the armor look. Because the armor kind of does remind me of Vader, right? Like the chest armor does kind of remind me of that, which I don't think that was intentional in the design, but it does kind of remind me of that. But yeah, I do think this looks great. For me, it's probably, again, going to be a pass. So I'm just going to wait until the Obi-Wan show drops and see what we get from Anakin for that. Maybe a Dark Side reissue. That would be fantastic. But nonetheless, for Clone Wars fans, again, there are a lot of them out there. Clone Wars is beloved by a lot of people. I think this is a very welcome figure. And they're just waiting on the Obi-Wan at this point. So Obi-Wan was teased and then never put up for pre-order. Who knows why that was the case? But obviously, this is a reused head sculpt from the, the Revenge of the Sith version. And it looks great. All they did was kind of throw a new outfit on. This is a cheap figure for them to make. I think this is going to be a very profitable one for them, because they could reuse the head sculpt, put a new outfit on. That's probably not that difficult for them to assemble. And it looks great. So, yeah, I think this is going to be cool.
And it's funny you mentioned General Kenobi. I think as soon as this guy is released, they're probably going to announce Kenobi. I have a feeling that's
because they want to get this one out before Kenobi drops, because then once they start announcing Anakin figures from that one, they want people to have this in hand first,
Right.
because then they're going to be like, then they're going to want those too, and they would just pass on this one maybe, unless you're a diehard Clone Wars fan, which you might want both. But
True.
True. Yeah.
KG, briefly on this, what are your thoughts about this? End of the month, right after Chinese New Year's?
It's yeah. I think it's gonna happen. For me personally, I grew up with the Clone Wars, so I don't know. I might get this. I kind of want to hold off, like Will. Wait till the Kenobi show. We might get a reissue of that Rogue version, because I do want that version more than this. And I do think that we will be getting the Obi-Wan. I've been hearing rumors about the show that we're gonna get a flashback Clone Wars scene with him in this armor. So maybe that's why they're saving it. But yeah, I think that this is definitely going to happen for sure after the Chinese New Year. I mean, this is long overdue. Same thing with Cable, same thing with Ahsoka. So everything right now, Star Wars is pretty hot right now with the Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, it's definitely possible for sure.
Jorge?
It's possible, like everybody's saying. I know this has been on Sideshow site for a long time now. So yeah, any day now. I don't know that I'm going to get it though. I am a fan of the Clone Wars. I really want an Anakin, so I'm on the fence for it. But I kind of prefer the Jedi robe version. I don't know why. And then the same thing with Kenobi. I would like the robed version as well.
Fair enough. Graham?
It's a great time to be a Clone Wars fan. You're going to get a lot of this stuff dropping at the same time. Well, maybe it won't be great because, then your wallet's going to hate you for it. But this is going to be an easy pass for me, just because I'm not the biggest Clone Wars fan. It doesn't have that meaning to me. I have the dark side Anakin as well. So I feel like if you have one of the other ones, unless you're a hardcore Clone Wars fan, if you have one of the other ones, I don't think you need this one, unless you want all the accessories with that pretty cool vehicle that comes with it as well. But easy pass for me. But yes, they got to get this out soon, because like Will said, once Obi-Wan is announced, things are just going to shift. People are going to shift towards that, and they're going to just want that one. So,
Anthony, final thoughts about this?
Yeah, I think he's coming this month. If you look even on Sideshow's, it showed like February to March on Sideshow's page, and we all know those are all ahead of schedule from Hong Kong release. So, given the fact that we're in Chinese New Year right now, dude, it's gonna happen. Will I get him? I mean, probably, just to put him with the Clone Wars, collection that I have. But I think it's like a figure that I would just buy to fill in a gap. You know what I mean? Like, he just kind of sits on the shelf with the Clone Wars guys. Whether or not I get the staff version, I'm still, it's up to debate for me. But I think he's a good alternative right now if you don't have any version of, Revenge of the Sith Anakin, right? And I feel like he's not going to be a Grail status figure down the line. Personally, I think, Hot Toys is just doing that season 7-ish, Clone Wars line right now, and that's part of it. And if you want to get an Anakin, I'd say, okay, get him, but we're going to get another Anakin, right? The problem with that is they haven't even announced the release date of the show yet, which I'm suspecting is going to be next year. I don't think it maybe end of this year, but either way, we're at the beginning of the year now. It's not coming anytime soon. And then we're going to have another year and a half, after the show's wrapped to get an announcement, and then a year and a half for the release. So I think either way, if you're looking for an Anakin, it's you either go buy the crazy prices right now for Revenge of the Sith, or you pick this guy up for a couple bills, or you wait almost 3 years for the new one. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good middle ground, and I think might as well pick him up if you want an Anakin.
All right. Well, fair enough. All right, guys. So we're gonna call it for the night. Briefly, Anthony, what's going on your channel? Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me here, and you can find me at 6 Scale Mafia, man. I don't know. Working on getting to that 1,000 subs as you mentioned earlier. So 50 more, and I'm there. So that's not bad, guys. 50's not bad. I mean, hell, there's 200 in here right now. I don't know if all 200 of you have subscribed.
200, wow,
if not, you know what I'm saying? Come check it out. I'm giving an IG 11 away as soon as I hit that 1,000 on my stream, which is Saturday nights following Aries. So shout out to 6 Kill Cantina on that. And then, doing some reviews here and there. And I got my posing review that I'm doing with Mario, El Professor O. We go through all the old figures and we kind of unbox and kind of retrospect. I know some of you guys have already tuned in on that, so we do that every week too. Other than that, brother, man, it's just a pleasure as always being here and, hanging out with everybody.
Good man. Graham, what's going on at the Jedi Knights Watch?
Yeah, you guys can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Jedi Knights Watch. Lots of cool stuff happening right now. I've been doing a live stream called 6 Scale Symposium. It's kind of like an intimate hangout with me. Good way for you guys to get to know me to get to know you, just conversations about stuff. So that's been a lot of fun. I recently reviewed this quarter scale Batman, so that's up on the channel. And then Armor came in today. Yes, I bought her because the Book of Mandalorian was so good last week. So I'm going to probably review that one. And then I got some Black Series Star Wars helmets coming in too. So probably review those as well. But yeah, come follow the channel and be a part of the community.
Good. Jorge, where can we find you, my friend? Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Dude, thanks for having me on. You can find me on HYPERDRIVE mostly and on MCE. On the HYPERDRIVE, I do mostly Star Wars related content, 6 scale figures as well. I just got in the Tusken Raider finally. So that's going to be coming out up on the channel this week. And yeah, a lot of stuff there, props, lightsabers, and statues. Lots of the statues. So
Nice.
if you're into all that, join me on the HYPERDRIVE.
Nice. Yes. And again, all the links are in the description below. So make sure you subscribe. KG, what's going on your channel, my friend?
Well, I mean, nothing much. And Dante, as always, thanks for inviting me. It's always an honor to join your channel and your live stream. Yeah, nothing going on with me, man. I just jump on live streams like, Anthony's or, Will's and yours. Just, I help around. Nothing going on my channel. But I do want to give a huge shout out to Riley Ramirez just because he just created his own YouTube channel and he just made a collection tour that was amazing. Please go support Riley Ramirez on YouTube. Great guy. I was talking to him earlier today, and such a blast. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, man. Nothing going on with my channel. But if you guys want to find me on YouTube, it's KG Collector, and also my Instagram is KG_Collector. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Yeah. Again, all the links down below. And Will, last but not least, thank you so much for coming. What's going on your channel? Where can we find you? What do you have for us in the future?
Dude, thanks so much for having me as always, Dante. And I can definitely echo KG's sentiment for sure. Riley is amazing. Great at Call of Duty, by the way. He carries us to victory quite a bit. So, yeah. So we're going to be probably gaming tonight, actually, if anyone wants to come watch. We're doing like another Gamers Lounge on my show. I'm not sure what we'll be playing, but we'll be playing something. And we always have Collectors Mingle every Sunday. So, and I was actually wrong, Dante. Sauron is actually showing up tomorrow. So Sauron, Prime 1 Sauron should be here tomorrow for me. Whoa, so I'm really excited.
Congrats.
That thing, yeah, thanks, man. That thing has been on a boat in the ocean for 12 weeks, and I've been waiting. FedEx, please come through for me tomorrow. It's supposed to be here. So we'll
unbox that on your channel?
Yeah, see, I'm going to unbox it, but the problem is it's so complicated that I definitely need to do some of it before the show because I'm going to look really dumb if I try to do it all live. I'm never going to get that shit all unboxed correctly and assembled correctly because I watched a video on it and I was like, impossible. Like, Baldur took me 40 minutes. Like,
you got Baldur too?
Yeah, I got Baldur right over there. And
Kratos,
by the way, I just got an email from Sideshow. They said Kratos is shipping, I think, Friday for me.
You got the Prime 1 Kratos too? Mm-hmm. I was in Japan. I saw it out there. It was freaking awesome.
Dude, that Baldur is one of the best pieces I've ever seen. Like, no hyperbole. Like, it's one of my favorite pieces I own. So, like, that Kratos, I'm sure if he'll be equally as good, but Dante disappeared. But yeah, for sure. That's coming too. I'm going to do an unboxing and Sauron for sure. So if anyone wants to join for that, let me know. Yeah, I'll have that. And eventually I'll be doing a collection tour just like Riley did his amazing tour. Once I get J&D Heath Ledger Joker, that should be shipping. Josh from Comic Concepts, Dante, told me it's somewhere. I think maybe it should be here like March. But so that's a little bit in the future. But yeah. So anyway, that's I know Dante's got to watch his soccer game. So that's all.
Oh, I think we're losing already. So far. So anyway, thank you guys for coming to the show. Thank you guys for watching. We have a live stream on Friday, so stay tuned for the panel announcement. We have a membership going on, so I put the link in the description as well on the chat. If you want to get exclusive content, we have a show called Figures with Friends, and the first episode was actually premiered last Sunday, so we have more to come. Thank you, everyone, and as always, be well, and see you around in the next video.
See you guys.
Have a good night, guys.
See you.
Wrong video.